Khamzat Chimaev defeated Robert Whittaker at UFC 308 with a finish that was so strong and powerful that this actually broke Whittaker's lower jaw. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Dr. Brian Sutterer, and the goal in this channel is to teach you about the medical side of the sports world. Now, it's been a long time since we've done any UFC. There really hasn't been that many interesting injuries, I think, to talk about, but this was definitely something here. So UFC 308, Khamzat Chimaev versus Robert Whittaker. This was the finish with Khamzat won, and initially it kind of looked like a choke, but actually Khamzat's left arm is located on a part of Whittaker's jaw called the mandible. The lower portion of your jaw that moves up and down, that's called the mandible. Your jaw joint then comes up from the mandible going up to insert at the temporomandibular joint. And so the part that moves up and down, that's the mandible. And of course your teeth on the lower portion of your mouth are fixed into that mandible. So here as Khamzat is applying this choke, essentially he just grabs onto Whittaker's lower chin and cranks backward so severely that it doesn't choke him out. It results in a break of his jaw. This wasn't a jaw dislocation. There was some speculation about that after the fight, but based on a picture that we're gonna show here, this was just so powerful that Khamzat broke his jaw. Now, this is the picture that was shared of Whittaker's jaw, and I've edited a little bit to try and remove some of the graphicness, but what you're looking at is his lower row of teeth, and these three teeth in the front are displaced into his mouth because his jaw is fractured. So that's not just that the teeth fell out. The teeth are actually still attached to that lower portion where they're anchored into the jaw, but the jaw is broken in a way that's caused his teeth to completely displace backwards into his mouth. It's not like these teeth just fell out or are knocked out. No, the whole anchor site for those three teeth broke, causing that teeth to displace posterior. If we look at our biodigital anatomy tool here, we can highlight and see what exactly we're talking about with that anatomy. So this lower bone right here, that's going to be the mandible. This portion is going to be the temporomandibular joint located right up there. You can feel that move. When somebody dislocates their jaw, it's going to be that joint up here that gets dislocated. But then you can see how the teeth are anchored into that underlying bone. And so in Whittaker's case, basically these three front teeth anchored into the lower portion of the jaw got crushed from that forearm that Khamzat Chimaev applied, causing a fracture, causing that bit of the jaw and the teeth to displace backwards up into his mouth. Now, treatment of this is going to be some type of surgery to put those teeth, that bone back in place, plate, potentially braces across the teeth. Real possibility here that Whittaker might end up having his jaw wired shut for some time. So this is a serious injury. There's also some nerves that travel along these areas. This little hole right here, there's some nerves that come out that help supply innervation to your teeth. When you go to the dentist, you have your teeth numb. Those are the nerves that they're targeting. So if we look at this anatomy model, think of those teeth anchored into that lower portion of the mandible. So looking back at that picture now, envisioning that anatomy model where all these teeth are anchored into that lower jaw of the mandible and seeing these three displaced back, again, mandible fracture, not a jaw dislocation. And if we look at that replay one last time, again, this all happens because of that position of Khamzat's arm on the lower portion of the jaw. If this was a choke submission, he would have had the arm underneath his jaw, but instead you can see it slip up right there. That left arm anchors in front, the lower portion of the jaw loading on the teeth, and then just pushing backwards, trying to apply that choke, just crushes Whittaker's jaw. So that's it for the video, everybody. Good to get back into some UFC content here. Hope you enjoyed it and learned something. Let me know any questions or comments down below. And until next time, we'll see you later. Bye.